I also can prophesize the future. And I also can see subliminal messaging.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Miss Pillberry's slow girl. Now, I'm
What, really? I'm pretty sure I could truck the shit out of you, you fucking overgrown baby.
Dude, whatever you're smoking, buy a ton of it.
I'm the greatest smack talker on the fucking face of the earth right now.
Possibility of women playing in the league, one day, I don't think it's impossible.
You fucking punk-ass bitch!
Jesus Christ, that hurt. I'm still gonna.
I'm fucking real, bro. You ain't shit.
Well, this is smacking off. If you don't like it, change your diaper and leave.
Don't be ridiculous right now, okay?
I'd rather watch softcore porn than have to watch all of that.
No, that's how you make opium, and then from there you gotta cross it.
Bro, who invited this dude, bro? What the fuck? Get this dude out of here, bro.
No, USC is far better than Oklahoma historically.
Papa, your meatloaf is moist as my pussy gets. I promise you that.
Okay.
Oh shit, this has turned into King Arthur's drug class.
How long?
They need you back at the cash register in 5 minutes.
Well, Tiggy's like pipe minus the entertainment value.
Smacking Off the podcast is starting in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to Smacking Off the podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Madden. I'm joined with Doug Phillips. Doug, what's up?
Not much.
We got a show tonight.
We do.
We're going to do something a little different. Every once in a blue moon, we've actually, Doug and myself, have brought people on the show that we've known in our real life. We had S.M. Gibson on, Alabama fan, talk about Bama a couple times. We've had Bobby Wesson on, who I actually went to school with Bobby Wesson back in the day. Tonight, we're going to do something a little different. We're actually going to bring on one of our old guitar players who's a big Auburn fan and kind of talk a little bit about Auburn football tonight, along with Gabriel Griffin, show contributor. And
also an Auburn fan.
Yes, Auburn. Well, I don't know. I mean, Gabriel's kind of hard to gauge some days. Some days when he comes and does a segment, it's kind of hard to believe that he's actually an Auburn fan. Sometimes.
No. Oh, you mean he don't take up for his team sometimes?
Well, yeah.
I think he's more of a realist.
That,
he's kind of a realist.
Yeah, there's that going on. I got a cat.
He loves Tuberville's wife.
Yeah, I got a cat. We were sitting in the studio the other night and yesterday morning, and a cat just jumped in the window, and now I have a cat. It's like a I don't know, a 2-3 month old kitten, and it's currently like scratching at my feet right now.
His name?
My socks.
What's his name?
It's a girl.
Oh,
yeah. We successfully sexed the kitten, and it is definitely a girl.
You sexed up the kitten?
No. Wait, you got to wait till they get a little older for that sort of thing. But yeah, Rabbit. That's the name we went with.
Because of the big feet and the big ears.
Big feet and big ears. Yeah, it's a very rabbit-like cat. And didn't anticipate I was going to get a cat. I didn't have any pets. We had an English bulldog that passed away a few months back. It's kind of a big deal. He was definitely a member of the family. So, yeah, we got a cat now. The studio cat.
When you want me to hit these guys?
I don't know. We can do it in a minute. What else is going on in your world? How are you today?
Oh, I'm good.
We haven't really got a chance to talk today.
It's a typical Sunday. Grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm.
We bought brand new groceries.
Some new groceries.
Put them into the cabinets.
Did you get a chance to eat any of the new groceries tonight? Or
yeah, right before I came
Excellent. What'd you have?
We had some pork tenderloin, and me and Kat had baked sweet potato, and the rest of the family had just regular baked potato.
Why did you have sweet potato versus baked potato?
I like it.
Preference?
Yep.
Okay. No particular reason, no special diet or anything
Tabby
like
won't
that.
eat it, and that's so weird. Because
Tabby won't eat sweet potatoes? Really?
She just won't try it.
I don't know, though. Given the choice between potato and sweet potato, I'm going with potato every single time. I don't care how
it depends for me.
Not for me, buddy.
If it's
you can serve it up.
I'm not having a sweet potato with steak.
Unless it's raw. That's probably the only way I won't do a potato. I'll do a potato just about any damn way you serve it up.
I've got video of you biting into a raw potato.
I didn't like it.
You didn't seem to mind.
Well, I mean, I was drunk at the time, so
you probably were.
I do a lot of crazy, insane things when I get drunk. That's why I don't get drunk anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember shit. I do shit and I don't remember it. I was a blackout drunk. Speaking of which, we're probably going to talk to Jay about that just a little bit. You want to hit the boys up?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I feel like I need a sound effect for this. Give me a good sound effect for this. Yeah,
that wasn't me.
That was pretty good. That was a good one. I also had the farty one too. The farty one's it's not very impressive. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a real fart. I think I've got my money's worth out of this just on the last episode alone.
Hello? You got him.
Hey,
what
guys.
are you doing?
Hey. Hey.
Hey,
how y'all doing?
We've got 2 Auburn fans on tonight.
Yeah, we got Gabriel Griffiths and our dear friend Jay Horn. We got to go with Jay first because Jay is Jay's an old friend of ours. We've never had Jay on the show. Jay is he's not our typical I guess hardcore student of the game. He's just a hardcore Auburn fan.
Yeah.
Jay, what are you doing?
Nothing. What are y'all doing?
We're sitting here doing a podcast, fucking off as usual.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking off the podcast?
Yeah, fucking off the podcast. That's what we should have named this thing.
We really should have.
Yeah, Zuck would have got us on that one.
Fucking off the podcast.
Yeah. Jay played guitar with us many, many years ago. We had quite a few adventures with Jay, needless to say.
Oh, goodness. Karaoke nights were awesome.
Karaoke night, my ass. We actually we played a little bit all over the Southeast. We Jay played some shows with us in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
We won't talk about one of those tonight.
Mississippi's a great state.
It is. I like Mississippi. Mississippi treated us well.
Are you still wanted in
I
Mississippi?
do like Meridian.
Meridian's awesome. We played Meridian
yeah.
quite a few times. Meridian Underground. Then we also played Columbus a bit. We tried to play Tupelo one night, and that didn't work out so hot.
No, we did not end up playing in Tupelo. The guy that booked us, we had this happen several times. We got over there, and he wasn't actually there. He just told somebody, yeah, I've got this band coming, and they were like, a band? We got a DJ tonight.
Yeah, they had like rappers or something.
And he said,
going on
well,
that
shit,
night.
let me get the hell out of here before they get here.
Yeah. So we
I have
actually
a question.
we
I haven't
rerouted.
told y'all in a long time. How'd y'all like that national championship game?
The national championship game was amazing.
Which one are you talking about?
You're talking about the
17?
17, yeah. 17 was
God.
that was
it just happened.
phenomenal game.
Well, tell us about your Auburn Tigers, guys.
Yeah, let's do it. The Auburn Tigers are coming off a blistering season. Look, man, let's cut to the chase because this has really been fucking with me. Why'd y'all lose to UCF? Let's talk about this. There was no excuse for that, none.
They're real good. That one guy that had.
They're no Clemson.
Hand,
that's for damn sure.
Amazing, man.
Talk
Should've
about the
won
fucking
Lombardi.
national championship game in the opening game. Yeah, fuck you. What you want to talk about UCF, man? They're fucking Power 6 team.
Power 6.
Power 6. You lost to a Power 6 team, and they were 6th out of the Power 6, by the way.
They were 6th?
The very best of the Power 6.
Yeah,
the 6th of the Power 6.
Well, the whole Power 6 thing, that's their way of trying to say that the AAC is it shouldn't be the Power 5, it should be the Power 6.
I'm just wondering why they deny playing Florida. I mean, Florida's usually not good at all, and they deny them for a 2-for-1.
It was
their stadium maybe sits 48,000. Florida sits 100 on a.
No, 88,000. 88,000.
Yeah, 88,000. I mean,
Hey,
man,
somebody in the shower.
Hey, Jay
My
Horn.
apologies here. My service isn't good.
Oh yeah, 'cause Jay lives he's out in the boonies. He's way out in the boonies. It's pretty out there where he's at. You ever heard the podcast? What was it? S Town. That's where Jay lives. Jay lives in Shit Town.
Oh,
yeah. You didn't hear Shit Town? You're like the last person in America that didn't listen to that podcast. Gabriel, you heard it.
I know most of the guys that are in that podcast.
Yeah, the mayor, Jeff Dotson's a dear friend of ours, a longtime contributor down at Gibbs. Also, he's a WBC referee as well.
Oh yeah, I've known him most of my life.
Jeff and Cheryl, yeah, that's which was a really pivotal part of the story. Man, you got to hear that though. You need, if you get a minute this week. Now, I know you're busy during the week, but if you get a minute, you need to listen to this podcast. It's truly amazing, and it's about Woodstock. Everybody all over the world's talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of died down for a while. It's been out for a bit, but
Gabriel, back to what you were talking about. I definitely agree with you. UCF made a dumb fuck move by not accepting that.
That was retarded. I don't know why they would even think. Well, no, okay, I do know why they think, because that's also the same thinking that led them to believe that they're the co-national champions.
Well, Timothy Ray Bailey is convinced that UCF has they've earned the right to do a home and home with anybody.
He's a fucking Oklahoma fan. What does he know?
Year, even if they go undefeated again, they might get top out of 13, and they got to pray to God that Stanford has an unbelievable season.
Yeah, I mean, and Jay, you do know what we're talking about. The fact that UCF, the team down in Florida, chose not to do a home and home series with the Florida Gators.
No, it wasn't a home and home. It was a home. It was one for UCF and 2 at Gainesville.
Yeah. That was what Florida had proposed to UCF.
Which financially, that's all Florida could do.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
How far of a drive is it from Orlando to Gainesville?
Not far.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Probably like 2 hours, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
But you can't trade evenly with a team with a team that has 44,000 capacity, and they would fill up for the Florida game, but Florida's not going to get paid very well for going there.
No, it's a losing proposition for the Florida Gators. Especially,
and you know, Bama just did that with South Florida.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, South Florida, they're playing Wisconsin and Bama in the same year, I believe.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on it.
And USF has the right idea in this. That's the same idea that actually propelled Clemson to where we're seeing them at now.
Well,
Clemson was playing South Carolina and Auburn every year for a long time, to get smacked and win 6 ball games.
They played a lot of prominent
recruits, because the recruits are excited to play them kind of teams.
And they played a lot of prominent teams over the years, and again, not having the same status as the teams that they played with, and they took any and every opportunity they could get.
I got a question for Jay, real quick.
Jay Horn,
what you got?
What are you doing over there? Are you working out or something? It sounds like you're lifting dumbbells. Are you working?
Yeah. Dragging his dick around all day.
Yeah, that's the Jay I know.
If Auburn, what does Auburn got to do this year? Do you think Gus needs to be gone if we have a repeat of last year?
Man, I don't know. He's got a lot of heart. I don't know. I'd just like to see how the season goes this year.
Well, I mean, and again, what are your expectations for the season this year? I mean, realistically, what do you think that a guy should be able to pull out if he wants to keep his job?
The Iron Bowl.
He can lose everything else but still win the Iron Bowl. You're probably right. I mean, you know, all bullshitting aside, you're probably right on that.
Gabriel, what's your take on it?
If he wins the Iron Bowl, he'll keep his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if he wins 6 ball games and beats Bama, he'll keep his ball. Because that's what Auburn is. Auburn, they want to chase Alabama, and they want to beat Alabama and everything. They could care less if we win a national title and lose to Bama. If we lose to Bama, that's a bad year. And Tuscaloosa, if you lose to Auburn and win a championship, that's a great year.
Well, and here's the shitty part about that for Auburn, and I know that the sting was definitely felt when Auburn defeated Alabama in the Iron Bowl, and then, of course, you know.
No, I think as an Alabama fan, I want to beat Auburn every year, but it takes a lot of the sting away when it's your only loss and you somehow get into the playoffs and then win it all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it would have took the sting away for y'all if the same thing happened.
Absolutely, but yeah, I get where Gabriel's going with this. I mean, you know, Alabama, you know, is pretty much. It doesn't matter. Auburn can have a perfect season, and if they don't win the Iron Bowl, there's a very, very good chance they're going to get shut
that's
out.
Just because we've been chasing them for so long. Auburn will never be Alabama. We got to get that out of our head. If you are a fan, you have to come to the realization that we are never going to win 17 national championships. We have 2.
Well, Alabama hasn't even won 17 national
and lucky to have 2010 one. If it wasn't for Cam Newton, we probably would have won 8 ball games that year.
Yeah, this is very true. Cam actually single-handedly won a couple of those games for you that year.
He carried
up
that
to
team.
and including the Iron Bowl.
I mean, he carried Patrick Peterson 10 yards and Jordan Hare in 2010. And he plays for Arizona Cardinals right now.
The truth is, man,
my God.
Before the 80s, sometime in the 80s, I mean, really, the Fiesta Bowl, when they matched up Miami and Penn State. I mean, they used to match up number 1 and number 2 every now and then, but it rarely happened even in bowl games. So, really, before there was an effort to match up number 1 and number 2. Is there really any national championships before that point?
Well, I mean, you know, they're
very mythical.
Yeah, we can have that conversation. That's a whole different entire episode that we can bring every single contributor we've ever had on.
the quarterback situation with Auburn, and it's been trending as of late, is that we need to start Joey Gatewood and let Bo Nix, just sit and just watch and learn. I'd say I'd be willing to redshirt him because we don't need to just freak him out and throw him out there and say, here you go. We need to just let the man that has the experience, been there for a little bit and knows the system. And unless Joey Gatewood is just like tearing it up in practice and doing everything right, and then start him. But my opinion, we need to just stick with Joey Gatewood and just run with it.
Yeah,
that's my 2 cents on the quarterback situation. But my honest realization for this year is that we either go 8-4 or 9-3. Maybe we can pull it out in LSU. We probably lose. I definitely to Alabama and Georgia.
Well, and again, 9-3, is that going to be good enough for Gus to continue to keep his job? I guess with the money that's still on the table, probably so.
If we beat LSU, he needs to at least beat one of the big three. That's Georgia, Bama, and LSU.
And we
hadn't beat LSU and Baton Rouge since 1999, I believe.
Well, let's fast forward this a bit, and let's say that Auburn goes to another 8-4, 7-5 season at the end of the year. Everybody calls for Gus's head, and who do we get?
That's my thing. Who do we get? Who do you replace him with?
Yeah, I mean,
who really wants to come to Auburn?
Well, not only that, it's who wants to come to Auburn that is actually really somebody that Auburn wants to get that doesn't already have a job that they're locked into,
Yeah, I mean, every time we we want a new coach, we say Gary Patterson, but we call him up and he just shuts us down just as fast as we call him.
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all's actually.
I mean, he's gonna have a statue and.
Isn't Bobby Petrino still free?
Yeah, he got fired.
Yeah, he did.
At Louisville.
Yeah, he did. He should have. That was a horrible showing by him for a guy that was supposed to be as good of a caliber coach.
Since he got beat up in that bar by those bikers, he has not been the same.
Yeah. Whoop that ass.
Yep. You got any hot rumors for us, Gabriel?
Do I got what?
You got any hot rumors for us?
Hot rumors.
Well, I mean, can you believe that Tommy Tuberville is running for senator in Alabama?
Yeah. And you're voting for him, aren't you?
Hell no.
You're not gonna vote for him?
Why not?
I ain't gonna vote for nobody.
Aren't you a Republican?
Yeah, I am, but I ain't gonna vote. I mean, I only vote for like local things. I'm gonna vote for the lottery in Alabama.
But you don't even vote in the local elections.
Yeah.
Oh, that means you don't have what is it? What is the thing that they say? You don't. If your voice will not be heard. Yeah. That works.
If you don't vote, you don't have any right to complain.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
I do too. Because I think it's the opposite.
Yeah, voting gives consent to the system.
I think the only people that really can complain are the ones that didn't put these assholes in office.
Yeah, you're right. And if you go back and look at last year's or the last presidential election,
T-Tug's wife, she's gonna be all over.
Hang on, Gabriel. Jay, you were saying what?
I said I sure as shit didn't vote for Kay Ivey.
No, I'm not a big Kay Ivey fan. Yeah, Kay Ivey, for all of our listeners elsewhere, Kay Ivey is the new in-the-closet lesbian governor for Alabama.
Is she really?
No, seriously. That was like a big thing. What was it? The state senator, Patricia Dodd, who is actually a out lesbian woman.
Is she a D or an R? Kay Ivey.
Kay Ivey's an R.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a R. She's hard R, buddy. She is hard R. Yeah. So so there's that.
Real lesbian.
Yeah, she's a lesbian, and with I guess the current, and look, I know everybody's got differing opinions on it, so I'm not really even going to go there with it. But the abortion issue, she's caught a lot of flack for being a woman and deciding on especially a woman with a big wide closet that she lives in. For her to go kind of the route that she's gone with it just to keep party lines has infuriated a lot of people across the country. Which I don't know. That's I guess for other people to decide. I try to stay out of all that stuff. Alabama hasn't had a proper governor that hasn't served some sort of prison sentence or had some sort of scandal since when? God, back before Guy Hunt. Guy Hunt went to prison, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
He went to prison. Siegelman went to prison. God, who else? Riley stayed out. Raleigh stayed out of prison, but he was caught up in some other
Why
stuff.
do governors go to prison so easily, but presidents never do?
Well, because there's laws to prevent them from doing that.
You mean laws?
President is basically above the law, honestly. Unless you like kill someone in office, you're pretty much okay.
Yeah.
You pretty much do whatever you want.
But yeah, the one they have up there in Washington, he's got him stirred up right now. Yeah.
Hey, don't talk about Donald Trump.
I just said the man has him stirred up. That's all I said about the man.
Oh.
He's
an American hero.
He's my president, whether I voted for him or not, right?
I don't have a president. I don't vote.
Yeah. Well, no, you have a president whether you like it or not.
I don't vote.
Yeah. We all do. Jay.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Really, Jay.
Man,
Jay is an Auburn fan, but we really brought Jay on just to talk about shit that we used to do back in the day because Jay knows us better than anybody on the interwebs. That's for damn sure. Jay is we've done a lot more than just break bread. Put it that way.
Yeah, let's make a little noise at Doug's house one time, and the cops come up. Doug told him to get the hell off the porch.
No, told him to get and Doug still swears up and down he didn't say this, but Doug told a Jefferson County deputy to get the fuck off my property.
Nah.
Yes, you did. You did.
Until 10 o'clock, get the fuck out of my property.
He did, and that motherfucker got in his car and he left. Because Doug was in the right. Doug was on his property. The guy came up to the door. It was a noise complaint. And we had just finished practice. And we'd been finished for about a half hour or so. And the guy came up, and we are actually working on an album together and listening to mixes of the album, if you remember, up here on the stereo. And it wasn't very loud at all. It was loud enough for us to be able to talk over it.
Well, he said that he could hear us talking.
Yeah, he could. He was sitting out on the curb, and he could hear us talking, that we were too loud.
Right.
In our house talking. Or,
Right.
excuse me, in Doug's house talking.
Right.
So Doug kind of took an objection to it.
I got the objection came when he said, "Can I see your ID?"
Yeah, can I see your ID standing in the doorway of your house?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I said, "Fuck no, you can't see my ID."
Yeah, get the fuck off my property is exactly what you said.
Hey, can you send me y'all's album?
What's that?
Can you send me your album?
Yeah, we'll send it to you. Send us, what is it, $20.95 now?
Yeah. I'll throw a link up. Man, I need to put it on YouTube.
I've got some shit on SoundCloud. It's just a couple of the things that we did with Jay over at Sean's house.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll throw everyone.
Those are some good, man, that was a good session, though.
I'll throw Everyone Loves Bubbles up, the whole album.
Jay, do you still have that? The session that I put together that we did over at Sean's house?
Man, I have to look around. I'm certain I do. Somewhere.
Yeah, there's a
And
couple.
I actually found my father found a bunch of stuff in storage, and I got my hands on a bunch of discs that hasn't looked through yet.
Oh shit! Yeah. Let me in on that because there's probably some shit in there I want a hold of. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
All right. Let's take an over/under on how many times Tommy Tuberville's wife hits up Donald Trump.
If he's actually elected senator.
Yeah.
So that means Tommy's going to Washington. He's going to move to Washington.
Yeah.
Where does Tommy live now? Where's he living? In Texas?
He's got to establish residence in Alabama, or he can't.
Yeah, he's got to have a residence in Alabama to be senator.
Is he still living down in Auburn, Opelika area? Maybe.
I think he still has a place there.
Probably got a place down there on the.
Yeah, he still does.
He's probably got a place on the lake, down on Lake Martin. You know, it's down right down the street.
Well,
from
if I'm Tommy Tuberville's opponent, the picture that I throw up in the ads and on the posters is him with those 5 fingers up. That way he can split the vote. I mean, piss the Alabama people off and say, "Yeah, I remember that motherfucker."
You got to do the thumb, dude.
No, fear the thumb. He didn't get the thumb.
Didn't he get the? I thought he got the thumb. Yeah, he had 6.
He did. You're right.
He did get 6. He got that fucking thumb.
Remember the fear of the thumb?
That was the last one he got, though.
You remember the fear of the thumb shirts?
I remember them shits. Yeah, Jay's over there laughing because Jay got a fear of the thumb shirt.
You had one, didn't you, Jay?
Oh yeah.
A fear of the thumb shirt. You remember the fear of the thumb shirt from Tommy Tuberville?
You know how bad Nick Saban was running over us already.
I don't know why Nick Saban doesn't just run for senator. I mean, that's
Nick
it. That's
could run for governor and win.
I don't think.
Yeah, he could. He could probably run for president of the South, and we could go ahead and secede from the Union again. He'd have my vote, man. Shit, I'd go grab a gun. I'll fight the government. Why not? I'm gonna get shot immediately and then get vaporized with the lasers. You know, they
Vaporized.
they got all kind of weird shit. The Defense Department now, you know.
You know why they vaporize you?
Laser drones.
Because they have to bury you if they don't. I mean,
Yeah. Saves on burial costs.
Absolutely.
You're biodegradable too, so you'll be good for the environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Laser drones. I want me a laser drone. What would I do with a laser drone?
I don't know.
I'm gonna be thinking about that for a minute here. Where's my sound effects? I need sound effects for this one. Yeah. Okay. Laser drones. I need a laser.
That's laser. What?
No, that was the applause for my great idea about the laser drone. Me acquiring a laser drone and using it for my evil purposes.
Oh.
Yeah, I got to work a little harder for that though, because laser drones cost money, lots and lots and lots of money.
What's the ticket on a laser drone?
Shit, man. Somebody Google that. Somebody pull that up on Google.
What are you looking
Cost
for?
of a late night. I'm not pulling it up on my Google though.
No.
I got enough objectionable shit on there. Yeah, I've to my credit, I've been smart enough to never ever Google the Anarchist's cookbook.
Oh, is that our? Oh,
You remember the Anarchist
Why didn't
cookbook?
you
We
tell-
all knew about that when we were kids. It's one of those things they advertised in the back of what is that, Soldier of Fortune magazine and shit, Guns and Ammo. Yeah. Learn how to make napalm with like orange juice and a bar of soap or some shit. I think you can do that. Gabriel, you're down in Auburn. They know how to do that shit down there.
Hell yeah, you got the engineering department. They're blowing shit up all the time.
Oh, yeah. I bet y'all have some really good weed down there, don't you? Like the very
yeah, you see
best
something
weed in
blow
the
up every
Southeast.
damn night.
Everybody's selling the CBD weed up here now. It's all about the CBD weed. Because, Alabama's still not, we're still living in the 19th century, so we haven't legalized yet. Well, actually, if we were living in the 19th century, we would be legalized because it was medicine back then.
yeah, that and rope. I made all kind of shit with it.
Yeah. Hemp industry is booming.
We can go hemp now.
Yeah.
You ever heard of hempcrete?
What?
Hempcrete.
Oh, yeah. I've actually seen that before. And it's supposed to be like super strong and super durable. And well, you've seen them do the houses out of hay. It's the same concept, but the hemp is supposed to be like way stronger. So.
Well, I'm seeing if before we get off the phone with them, we got to make sure that Shannon Russell's there. And right now, I see nothing.
Shannon Russell's
Yeah, I think Tua's brother's gonna be better than Tua.
I doubt it.
It's funny that you mentioned that because not too terribly long ago there was some sort of press conference where Nick pretty much, I think the soundbite was pretty much, a thinly veiled Tua needs to get his ass in gear. Our reserves are really playing up to speed right now. Blah 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 blah. Matt Jones had another semi-impressive
recovering over that knee injury.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I know Saban's tough, but you don't want to kill him already.
No, I mean, and seeing the way that he played injured, that he's about as useless as an asshole on my elbow. As far as that goes.
That's what cost them That's what cost them the national championship right there. Because them DNs were hitting him late. That's what killed him.
Well, and again, I don't know. I think we've discussed that ad nauseum on this show as far as the many different reasons that
I think it was
not only problems that Alabama had as far as coaching decisions and players and so on and so forth, but also I think a lot of that narrative has taken away what a perfect game that Clemson played to be able to dominate like that. There's a narrative going out there right now, and I can't remember which writer. I've seen it posted here in the past day or so. That basically kind of is not an apology for Nick Saban, but look at the numbers a little closer and you see how much closer that game was than what the score indicates. I don't know. I mean, there was a couple busted up plays that Alabama had made it in the red zone several times and wasn't able to punch it in. That's damning in and of itself.
They picked a bad night to start sputtering.
Yeah, and when you get in the red zone, it's important to score something. So you can keep the momentum going. You can at least feel, that the offense and defense still feel like they're in the game. But once you start pulling away by, 3 touchdowns, that's a tough hill to want to climb. To even want to get a line up and want to climb over that because the game's lost. You know, you're looking at the clock. I mean, you've done the math in your head. There's no way you're going to win.
Too in the second half when they were up, I think 24-0 on State. If State had any kind of offense, yes, they would have blew them out. And Nick Fitzgerald was playing pussy just like every other State quarterback when they played Bama. The first was Dak Prescott, now it's Nick Fitzgerald. But yeah, I mean, State whipped Bama, but you know, on the scoreboard, Bama, you know, killed State.
Yeah, and you know that's the way it works out sometimes. And you know, same thing went for the Clemson game, but you know, I still can't take anything away from Clemson. You know, Alabama did have their problems, but you know, Alabama was also in a position where and I don't think they understood this going into the game, but they also had to play a perfect game as well to be able to be able to at least hang with Clemson.
I'm not buying
and they just
this.
couldn't do it.
Have y'all heard this narrative that Clemson might be like one of the last year's Clemson team, one of the best teams ever? And I don't feel it. I don't know. I mean,
if you look at just that
Clemson
one
was
game
good,
instead of the whole entire season.
I'm not buying it because they struggle with Syracuse.
Right.
I know Syracuse won like 10 ball games, but that's still Syracuse.
Yeah, that's a game that a national championship contender needs to handle quite easily. You know, so yeah, as far as them being the best ever, no, or considered among the best ever, no.
I mean, they might be top
because again, I think that narrative is based on that one game. I honestly do.
They might be top 5 since in the new century.
Yeah. But we're talking about when we're talking about some of the greatest of all time, nah.
No, I agree.
I don't know. Maybe they could make maybe a push for the top 25 or so, but even then, you got to climb over some excellent squads, even going as far back as the old days.
We get murdered by those 90 Nebraska teams, especially by that 2001 Miami team.
It kind of goes back to what I brought up on a couple occasions on the shows that Clemson fans really feel like that they finally arrived. And I mean, now we're on what, national championship number 3 for them?
I think the all-time records, like they won I think 600 and something games. They're not. Their history is horrible.
Yeah, and again, if Dabo Swinney leaves, who do they get to replace him and have that level of success? I don't see that.
Did y'all see the numbers of them in the Georgia series?
Mm-mm. Auburn done the same thing too. I think we beat it 42-15. We're up on a 42-15.
Yeah, it's something like that.
And Georgia's done something similar. I think it's like 40-something-17.
Yeah, and that's a testament to how long that the Clemson's been pretty much kind of a second, third tier team.
Garbage.
Well, I'm not going to say garbage. I mean, they've had
homecoming game.
Yeah, you're right. They were for the longest. They were that easy win, that Southwest Louisiana on the schedule.
So when they won,
Clemson's coming up. That should be no problem.
When they won the national championship in '81. I mean, that was a big deal because they came out of nowhere to do that shit.
Yeah, and then they went right back to nowhere for quite some time.
Beat them like 6 or 7 straight times too.
They were actually pretty good in the '80s. They averaged about 10 wins a year in the '80s.
Tommy Bowden was with them in the '90s.
That was Danny Ford.
Well, no, I'm talking about Tommy Bowden later on after Danny Ford had retired.
Tommy Bowden
had some success with them. Yep. I think they had a few 8-9 win seasons, maybe even eked out 1 10-win season.
Yep.
But they're just not. I mean, historically, they're just not that team yet. Now they pull this off a couple more times, and they can definitely talk about this particular era. But I mean, all time they still got a lot of work to do to climb a lot of really good teams.
Do you think Florida wins the East, or do y'all think Saban's
I'm not counting Georgia out yet. Georgia still has the personnel. I don't know why everybody's hating on Kirby. Kirby's had quite some really good success over the past couple of years. There has been a spot or two that were kind of one of those head scratcher situations. But I don't know. He's not the greatest coach in the world. I will give you that. But he's got to be easily one of the
basically the same thing that Mark Britt was doing at Georgia. The East is so I hate to say, but pitiful.
Yeah.
That you can win the East if you're just decent. You put Auburn in the East and you put Georgia in the West. Auburn will win the East just as many times as Georgia. Your only competition is Florida.
Man,
in reality.
after Mark Richt got to Georgia, and just in the first few years, it looked. I mean, if you
whoa, what about Tennessee for a minute? Let's talk about Tennessee for a second.
What about them?
Tennessee, no, there's no.
Now, you don't think Tennessee has a outside shot?
They might be the tier. They might be the. Them and Florida's gonna be fighting for second.
If you talk to some ball fans, they're convinced that they're gonna show pretty good.
I
in
know.
the East.
Yeah, the Tennessee fans, they do it every year.
Yeah, but I mean, this has got to be their year. I mean, they've rebuilt. Fulmer.
Do they still have that quarterback Garantano?
Yeah, that big old forehead is.
I will say this.
You can see into the future with that
I
shit.
will say this. Tennessee looked damn good at Jordan Hare last year.
Yeah, they did.
That was shocking.
Yeah.
And when I was on the show that week, I was like, I think Tennessee can do it. And Shannon, he convinced me that Auburn was going to beat him. I was like,
I remember that.
Yeah.
And I was all right, I'll pick Auburn.
I did the same thing that a lot of the Tennessee, talking heads due to the Vol fan base. I went ahead and built it up. I built your confidence up, and you went in that game feeling pretty good, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was all right.
Yeah.
I'll accept it.
You got trolled, bitch. You know I'm an Alabama fan, right?
Jay, did you catch that game last year?
The Auburn Tennessee, I turned it off, but they was beating us by 4.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Jay, do you even want to talk about that, or do you just want to talk about something else?
Well, you know what? We beat them. We went undefeated.
Hang on, Gabriel. Hang on. I'm talking to Jay.
If we would have beat Tennessee in
Gabriel,
football, we would have went undefeated versus Tennessee in every single sport.
Gabriel,
we beat them in every sport.
Gabriel,
undefeated.
Gabriel.
Yes.
Let Jay talk for a minute because you interrupted him 4 fucking times.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. All right, Jay.
I ain't got nothing to say. I want to talk about the thing some more.
Yeah, let's talk about the thing because I think that's a more important story about this. Really, I think this began the history of the show. I want to say that the show actually was kind of conceived at that moment.
Smacking off,
yeah, because that's what we definitely did there for a moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you want to tell the story, Jay? You need to.
No, I like Doug's version better.
No, I ain't telling this story.
I'm telling the story then because it's a great fucking story.
All right, I'm going to pee.
We're actually here at the house where we actually broadcast from, and we practiced in the basement. We had a band, and our bass player Ron, who's a great big tall gay fella with this huge giant massive beard and long hair. They just think big giant tall metal dude, but like gay as hell. I love Ron to death. He's my brother from another mother. So we walk outside to take a break while Ron's changing the bass string. And when we walk outside, we have like this terraced yard. And so we walk out from the basement, and the upper part of the terrace, somebody fell off of one part of the terrace onto the other. And it's kind of dark outside, so we really can't see very well. And the only other person at the house is Doug's wife, who's pregnant at the time. So I immediately rush over, and then I realize as the person gets up that it wasn't Kathy, and it was a guy. So we kind of stop and talk to him for a minute. Man, you okay? And this, that, and the other. We didn't know who this guy was. He just wandered up into the yard, fell off the terrace. So the guy kind of picks himself up, dusts himself off, and then says, yeah, I'm okay. But look, y'all need to quit making all that noise. I got a baby down there and blah, blah, this and this, that, and the other. The baby's sick, and, he was aggravated. So I look at Doug because, this is Doug's house, and this is Doug's neighbor. So, I kind of look over at Doug, and Doug, to my surprise, kind of looks at him and says, oh, okay, man, we'll cut down. Doug was really super cool about it. The guy continues on.
Yeah, not like he was to the cop, right?
Yeah. He just completely goes off, and because y'all are gonna fucking blah blah this and this that, and we were agreeing with him. Yeah, we were agreeing to what he wanted to do, which was kind of cut down a little bit. And the guy just kind of goes off, just starts screaming and hollering and yelling, and and y'all gonna do this and y'all gonna do that. So Jay just finally says what's on everybody else's mind at the moment. Dude, you just need to shut the fuck up and go on back to the house.
No, it was more like, dude, they've told you that they're going to turn down and everything. What the fuck? What?
Yeah. What is the problem here? We actually were agreeing with you, and you're trying to make a bigger issue out of it. And at this point, the guy had kind of gently wandered off into the street, and we're sitting there on the hill facing out toward the street. And this guy just he's out there yelling and this, that, and the other.
No, he was dancing.
Yeah, he was kind of dancing. He was very upset. So I just look over, and there was a break in the conversation for a moment. And I look over, it was either you or at Jay, and I said, I guess we're just gonna have to go get the thing. Now, spoiler alert: there is no thing. This is something because I do shit like this all the time. I make up shit just, if there's a really bad situation, I found that if you just say something completely
This motherfucker wanted to know what the thing was. So.
But I look at whoever I looked at, it was either you or Jay, and I just said, well, I guess we need to go get the thing, and you were like, oh, no, I don't know if we need to do that. And everybody just started immediately playing it off. Like this was a real thing that we were going to bring out. This guy's curious at this point. He's kind of quiet.
He's actually a little concerned.
Yeah, he's like, "What are you talking about? The thing? What thing are you talking about?" And so we're kind of.
I guess he thought we had a gimp in there or something. I don't fucking know.
And which makes this whole story just absolutely wonderful because as we're chitter chattering about the thing, and the guy's like, "Well, you bring a fucking thing out here. I ain't fucking scared of nothing." Ron emerges from the basement, and Ron's kind of a tall fella and has all this hair and all this beard, and Ron wears a leather vest. He's a metal dude, man.
He's gay, but
he's a gay metal dude. So when he opens the door and he sees Ron emerge, this guy like jumps back, and I looked at Ron and I said, "Ron, go get the thing." And Ron, without missing a beat, looks at me and says, "Are you sure, man?" This motherfucker took off running down the hill. And, of course, at this point, Doug's wife is hearing, and she hears like the second half of the conversation. She didn't see that this guy was just being a complete total dick.
Right.
So she runs out. Of course, she's like, 8 months pregnant at this point in time. Very pregnant.
Yep.
She runs off down the hill, and apparently by the time she gets off down the hill where this guy lives, he lives underneath the, like one house down the hill. And, unfortunately, where the sound travels. And as she walks down there, this guy's coming out with a fucking gun. Which would have been bad because I know Doug, kept weapons in the house, and Jay usually keeps the thing on him. So, yeah, that was probably one of the greatest moments of my life. It really was because there was like, and it was like it was re-scripted and rehearsed and it was totally improv.
It was,
and it worked out great. Didn't work out so great. Didn't work out so great in Columbus.
He didn't come up with the gun though. He brought the gun out.
Yeah.
But he stayed down by his house.
He stayed down at the house. I mean, if he'd come up here, it would have been some
He was
trouble.
trying to protect himself because we were going to bring the thing.
We were going to bring that thing, and we were just right up the hill with that thing.
He didn't know what kind of thing he was looking at.
And when Ron came out, I guess he thought Ron was the thing. Which, yeah, I guess I could understand his concern there.
Oh
man, that was good times.
Good Lord.
All right, well, Shannon Russell is not coming on.
This is some bullshit, by the way. We had discussed and lined up with Shannon Russell a segment for her to air her grievances and air anything else that needed to be aired.
Yeah.
And did we fire her?
Yeah, let's fire her.
Hang on, where's the thing at? Okay. I love this fucking thing. This thing is amazing. This is the best $5 I've ever spent on anything.
I can't believe Brita hasn't got it.
I think she's forgotten about it.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to space it out now, otherwise she's gonna steal
show
it from
Gabriel
me.
and Jay how you go into a room.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Madden. I almost got fired for that this week.
Did you really?
No, I'm just kidding. He'll never fire me. I'm irreplaceable.
Was that that thing you get at Target?
What's that?
I think you get that at Target.
No, I actually got this at the TJ Maxx, where I get all my underwear. They sell very nice underwear at TJ Maxx. You can get designer underwear for less than half the cost.
All right, so let's recap. Jay says that Auburn needs to beat Alabama. I mean, you don't even think, Auburn could go winless and it just beat Alabama? You think that would do it?
Man, I think it's a win Iron Bowl.
Right. And Gabriel, what are you saying?
Either beat one of the big three and win 9 games, or just beat Bama and win 8 games at least.
You think anything? You think anything under that? And
huh? Yeah, I think we can beat LSU.
And please beat LSU.
Yeah, that would be Shannon Russell. That one's for you. Shannon Russell's a LSU fan. She's a corn dog.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely that would be simply amazing.
Well, it hasn't happened.
Think, if we beat LSU in 4, I think that'd be enough. But I do think that we win. We go 9-3 in the season, beating LSU and Florida, and we win the bowl game.
Well, now let's say Gus comes out and shocks,
because
Gus is calling plays this year, and Gus was just one of the hottest play callers in the nation after what he was able to accomplish with under Gene Chisholm.
It is an odd year too.
Yeah.
2013, 2017.
What if they come out and shock the living fuck out of us, and then we have a 1-2
Well,
or
I mean,
2-3 situation with
this
the
is one
Iron
of
Bowl?
those years that we shot the fuck out of everybody, unfortunately, and then we go back to winning 7 ball games the next year.
Yeah.
But I think we can trend upward with Bo Nix.
Well,
so what you're saying is that if Gus does go at least go winless lossless in the regular season and gets the CFP, then he needs to do a contract extension immediately.
No.
Let me
ask another $20 million.
Let me ask this, Gabriel. Let's just say that the unthinkable happens and Auburn wins 6 games, 7 games next year. Doesn't beat Alabama. Doesn't beat any of the big teams. And Auburn fires Gus Malzahn. Where y'all headed?
That's the thing. We can't fire him because we can't get nobody. We can't even get Gary Patterson to leave Dallas, Texas. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
What do you do? You can't fire him.
How about Stoops?
Stick with it. I mean, you put yourself
they
in
could
this
get John
situation,
Gruden.
You got to ride it out.
You know, those Vol fans haven't been able to get John Gruden to show up. Maybe y'all could throw a bunch of money at John Gruden and get him to come.
Oh, Jesus.
Coach for a season.
No, please.
Spurrier's not. Spurrier's free again.
Yeah,
he's not doing anything.
He is 70. How old is Spurrier?
75. Look at his success in the little ball league there.
Yeah,
winter league,
he
whatever
won about
it was.
6 games or 6 games.
Yeah. Spring league.
He declared himself champion.
Didn't Birmingham have one of those teams? Seems like
did.
we did one. It seems like we did a whole entire episode about that shit.
Yeah,
that's sad.
Now hold on.
I was on that episode.
The XFL, the new XFL that's coming.
Yeah.
Is Birmingham going to have a team again?
Because
they're what?
No, it's it's Seattle, Dallas, Washington D.C.
Fuck.
I want to say Los Angeles.
Yeah, but why are you going to go to all these markets that already have NFL? Do you think you're actually going to bring all of those people?
They do have St. Louis. That's a good investment. That's about the only good one. They'll fill it up.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as LA, do you think that many people from LA after the initial?
I mean, they can't even figure out their own gender. So I mean, I mean, they go to a football game.
I don't know. It seems like if you want to do like a minor league for the NFL, which I don't know, is XFL trying to brand itself as a alternative to the NFL?
Yes,
they do have,
and that's ridiculous.
That good Oklahoma coach that Auburn thought that was about to
They're
get.
trying to take advantage of some of this anti-NFL sentiment going on right now.
That's why I don't understand why the other league wasn't able to follow through, why they couldn't come up with some sort of deal to keep a NFL minor league in place, because I think that's the only business model that's actually going to work. You've had these other leagues that have tried to compete against the juggernaut that is the NFL. There's just no way you can compete against the NFL. You just can't do it.
I really
that's
don't
an
see
American
how a spring
institution
league
now.
Doesn't do good like the league did. I don't understand. Because
But if you do something that's a companion. If you
I enjoyed it. I watched every single game that was on TV.
It was a great product, and I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I mean, the problem was that there was also a little bit of imbalance in the talent too, and lethargic offense, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, I don't understand why you don't try to use the same business model as the major league and minor leagues do, and have some sort of like a little farm system, and go and tap these lesser markets that are in between markets, like Birmingham, that doesn't have an NFL team to root for. Why are you going to go to a town with
that's putting a good amount of people in the stands? It wasn't really. It was those teams that was sucking that was doing horrible in attendance. Which I mean, it's obvious. I don't want to go.
I mean, instead of trying to go to LA, try to build something in I don't know, whatever major city is close to LA that's not necessarily a major city. Markets like Memphis and Birmingham. Of course, Memphis is also too close to Tennessee Titans.
I don't know if you watched many of the games, but the team that the AFL had in San Antonio, they were filling up the Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, they were.
But at the same time, though,
have NFL teams were doing great.
Name that? What is the NFL team in San Antonio? Oh yeah, there's not one.
There's not one.
Yeah. So that's why that worked out so well, and I think Birmingham's problem. Birmingham had we had the old rusty ass Iron Bowl, the old original Iron Bowl, Legion Field down the road from us, and that thing is a dilapidated shithole, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it looks decent on the outside, but if you go on the inside, man, that place, it should have been torn down a long time ago, or at least done.
Well, you know, finally, UAB is finally tearing that damn thing down and building their own stadium. And I'm like, thank God.
Well, now Legion Field's still standing. Birmingham, as far as I know, has no plans to do anything with Legion Field other than continue to rent it out for whatever.
Oh, so UAB's just building their own stadium?
Yeah, UAB's, they actually, because they, the big marketing campaign after they killed the program there, they raised a whole shit ton of money and were able to secure the financing and the real estate. A lot of people don't know this, but UAB has quietly bought up a lot of the south side of Birmingham and raised their property values through the roof over there. So, UAB is actually one of the largest landowners in Birmingham.
It's in the daggum bad parts of Birmingham, too.
Yeah. Whereas UAB's not. And, it's funny because the bad part of Birmingham and the good part of Birmingham are less than a mile from one another. It is so strange. This city is really, one of the richest, actually the richest town or richest city historically in Alabama has been Mountain Brook. Mountain Brook is probably about, Jay, you'd say what? Probably about 5 miles away from Gate City, which is one of the worst housing projects in the area.
Yeah, man, I get the luxury of working in Gate City, so it's not.
Yeah, I've worked in Gate City before. The last time I worked there, they had shot a lady in the face as the children were unloading off the school buses. Lady was holding, she was holding a baby. And seriously, I was working in the office they have in the center there. You know where I'm talking about, Jay? The little community center. It's got a basketball court.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if the basketball court's had a lot of damage over the years, but we were renovating the offices there and running some gas pipe, or running some water pipe, and I had a torch going, and it sounded like somebody was knocking on the side of the building, not on a door, just on the side of the building. So I cut my torch off. And I asked my helper, who's standing on the floor, did you hear that? He's like, yeah, I heard something. I don't know what that was. As I go to fire the torch back up, you hear the return fire. And that was it. We picked up tools and got the fuck out of there. And it was broad daylight, man. It was, 3:30 in the afternoon. The kids were unloading, brought the school bus. So, yeah. And that's about 5 minutes away from the richest city in Birmingham.
Well, I work in Montgomery. And there's some parts of Montgomery that the police, they don't.
Oh, yeah. Montgomery's got some rough hoods.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's awful. Because Montgomery, they ain't got nothing. They ain't got no work. I mean, it's either you work at Hyundai or nothing.
Yeah, Hyundai, if you get tied in with the state of Alabama with all of their different various services they have down there, or you work in the service industry, they have...
I work at Hyundai, so, I mean...
Yeah.
You guys want to throw us a War Eagle before we hang up on you?
All right, War Eagle, guys. And,
War Eagle. Okay, and we'll go ahead and cut y'all, and then we'll finish the show.
Yeah, I can't believe that Shannon Russell did us like this.
She did, and she's in Walmart right now.
She's in Walmart?
Yes.
She fucking dumped our show for Walmart?
She somehow thought that we didn't want her anymore. I have no clue why.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, man.
You want to talk about your crazy ex-girlfriend for a minute? Jay is being hardcore stalked right now on mine. Yeah, you're
right.
right.
I'll see y'all guys. Hit me up when y'all want me on the show again.
All right, Gabriel.
Take care, brother.
I'll see y'all.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was fun.
Is everybody gone?
Yeah, I believe everybody's gone.
Nope.
No, Jay's still here. Jay, let's talk about your crazy ex-girlfriend now.
Oh, man. I'm in the middle of an investigation right now.
Understood. Yeah, Jay's dealing with crazy bitches.
Well, we'll make that next time when the other person.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a whole entire episode. I saw some screenshots, and boy, that's quite a ride.
Oh yeah, man.
You'll have to tell me off air privately.
I can't believe this though, because she seems like a really nice girl.
I
would have never really.
They always do, don't they?
Yeah, but I would have never figured her for like the crazy bitch type, like to the level that she's gone with Jay recently.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll have to we'll discuss that one off air. Jay, when are we gonna get back? When are we gonna get Zenkill back together?
Hey, I'm ready.
Yeah, Jay's always ready. When are we gonna do? I need to clean the basement out?
No.
Are we gonna get Sean to play drums for us?
Sean? Is Sean around?
Sean Isbell. I like Sean. Sean's a
I
player.
don't know. I miss Big Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Mo. Big Mo. I don't know.
Chris Hawkins.
Yeah. But I'm thinking Big Mo. He's
got children now.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he got more children than he did when you saw him last time.
He's actually got some he don't even know, probably.
Yeah. Chris.
He's a player.
Yeah, he gets around. He's a hoe.
Well, anyway, if anybody who's still listening, next week we've got a classic episode. Paul Garner and who is it? What's his name?
Ricky Watson-Solins.
Yes.
Hot ball on ball action, man. That's going to be fucking awesome.
And do they dislike each other?
They've been scrapping a little bit. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a ball free for all, a free for vol. See what I just did there?
Vol free for all. I
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
I'll use that in a promotion.
Not vol for life though. That's been used somewhere else.
All right then.
Yeah, I guess this is done. We're done with
All
this.
right, later,
And now,
Hey Jay, we appreciate you coming on, brother. You need to come back on sometimes. We'll talk about the thing again.
Oh, I mean,
later.
Later.
Do it.
all right, you guys. Everybody have a good night.
No.
No?
I don't want everybody to have a good night.
Okay, except for that one guy.
Find Smacking Off the podcast on Facebook and on YouTube. And don't forget to watch our regular Facebook Live weekly episode on Sunday 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific.